Okay, so today we're going to be looking at how to measure your doll. Now, this is actually really important because different companies make different size dolls. And I'm going to give you an example because I have 3 different dolls. And by companies, I mean manufacturers. So, here I have the Silver Leo doll. Just got him the other day. He's precious. He's a babe. I love him. And then this is my Ravi Bay doll. And this is my blue bean. I'm probably not going to take all of his clothes off just because it's pretty obvious. So, when you look at these 3 dolls, notice there's a lot of differences in both the design, the size, even the material that they're made of. So one of the things I noticed right away about the Ravi Bay is that he's a skinny boy. Blue Bean is pretty chub. He's got quite a lot of width to him, and his arms are pretty long, but his feet are little nubs. Ravi Bay is a skinnier boy with a butt no less, and then he has these bulbous feet, and his hands make little hand shapes, but he's otherwise pretty much a skinny boy. So pants that fit this guy, that are fitted to him, are huge on this guy. Now this bub, he's very interesting, and part of the reason is that I think this one is probably the highest quality of these 3 dolls. You can kind of see that the Ravi Bay is just a little bit lower quality in general. The fluff on his hair is amazing. So I tried different clothes on the both of them. I compared them because I realized right away that one, he seems to be much closer to Bean's size. But what's interesting is that he seems to be bigger in the booty area, but he doesn't have, he's a little, but kind of a little bit narrower in the chest. And most interestingly, he has the longest limbs of anybody. His legs are really long, his arms are really long, and they're both quite wide. His feet seem to be in between. So, when I'm making clothes for dolls, I take very detailed measurements in order to ensure that the things that I'm making are going to fit nicely. This shirt that Bean is wearing is much too wide on this guy here. So, depending on what your doll is, it's pretty much, it's a pretty good idea to measure them out so that you can get as close to the right sizing as possible. So, we're going to measure Leo. I'm going to put Bean's PJs back on. For Wanshiki. Or if I call my Ravi Bay, I call him Wanshiki. And Bean is Bean. And Leo is Stick With Me. Yeah, I named them. Okay, I'm going to put your clothes back on later, bub. Sorry. I'm in the middle of something. Okay, so what you're going to need, okay, Kevin. Sorry, I have a bird. You're going to need a measuring tape. And I recommend, because he's so small, measuring in metric. And this is a thing that I had to learn because I'm American and we don't use metric. I'm not good at eyeballing metric either. Like, I can tell you this, my thumb, the first joint to the end of my thumb is about 1 inch. My hand is about 6 inches here. So I can eyeball pretty well. But metric I can't eyeball at all because I just am not that familiar with it. However, metric has much smaller increments. So, for the measuring purposes, when something's small, this is a good idea to use metric. So, what parts do we need to measure? Well, first, I make a sketch because their bodies are different shapes. So for him, we're going to give him a pretty round head. He does have a chin, but he doesn't have much of he has a little bit of a shoulder, which some of them have and some of them don't. So he's got a little bit of a shoulder, and then his arms go straight out. They don't go down. So he's gonna go this way. And this is just like a general, he does have little fingers. So I'm gonna give him a little hand like that. I'm not an artist, so drawing is not it doesn't need to be super good here. We're just looking for shape. But I'm a little bit... Okay, so his body seems to go pretty straight down. So I'm just going to keep going straight with him. And then his legs are quite long for a doll. But he does have a wide gap here, which some of them have and some of them don't. So his legs, and then he's got that fairly wide gap and nub feet. And you can see this is not super like accurate, but it doesn't need to be because this isn't a pattern. This is a measurement guide. And his head is going to bother me, so I'll probably I'll adjust the sketch later. But this is mostly a tutorial for measuring. So, all right, we got a general sketch, general shape. Let's measure. So, first, I'm going to measure his head, because his head is huge. So, we're going to go all the way around the very widest part of his head, so that if I ever need to make something that goes on his head, it will fit over the most plush part of him. It's just like fitting a bra. Okay, so he's 35 centimeters around his head. 35 centimeters around. Okay. Next, I'm going to go from just under his chin all the way down to the seam right between his legs, which is 8 centimeters. So from here to here, he is 8 centimeters. Now all the way down to his toes from his chin is 12. I'm going to say 11. From here all the way down, 11. Okay. Now we're going to measure his circumference. So around his waist is about 22. Yes, 22. Okay, now I'm going to measure his arm. So from his neck to the tip of his hand is 5. From here to here is 5 centimeters. And I do want to check both arms because since these are mass-produced dolls, defects are a thing. And also, sometimes they're just not super accurate. Like, if you look at the Robbie Bay, his feet and his legs are actually different. His legs are, I've stretched him a little bit because it bothered me that he was so uneven. His feet are a little uneven. His legs are a little uneven. He's just not, he's very cute, but he's not of the same quality as this guy. It's visible. The material is different. Like, it's, you can tell. So, you gotta check multiple sides to make sure. So I'm just gonna double check that this side is the same. It should also be 5, if I can measure it. Aha! You see that? It's not. So this arm is actually 6. Which is, I'm gonna double check on the first side to see if I actually just measured it wrong. Which is a possibility. Double check everything. Oh yeah, no, he's 6 on both sides. I did make a mistake. Oops. Okay, so he's the same. Good. That makes my life easier. Alright, also, front and back. We gotta measure the back side. So from the back of his head to his mid-seam is 9 centimeters. So I'm going to do another line here. Then I'm going to mark it as back. And that is 9 centimeters. Okay. Now we're gonna start with his legs, which from the seam to his ankle is 3 centimeters. So from here to here, did I say 3? I've forgotten the number. From here to here, 3. This was important for pants length. This one should be 3 too. Yeah, okay. And then from the seam to the bottom of his foot is 5.5. 5.5 centimeters. Okay. Don't forget some circumferences. Oh, from his shoulder to his wrist is the measurement that I want next. So shoulder to his wrist is 4. So I'm actually going to change this one and make this one the shoulder to wrist. Wrist is 4. Okay, circumferences. Here we go. Measure around his arm. And that is 6 centimeters around his arm. Around his leg. Is 9. Okay. Okay. From his ankle to his toe, 1.5. Okay. All the way around his neck, which varies hugely from doll to doll. He is 18 around his neck. And then, let's see. From his neck to his waist. So I know where shirts end and pants should start. Waist, I'm gonna say is about here. So let's say 3.5 to 4. From here to here is 3.5 centimeters. Okay. And then from waist to toe. Or waist to ankle, rather, so that I know pants. 6. Okay. From waist. Oops. Too far. This is why we use pencil. This was 1.5. Okay. Waist to ankle. I've already forgotten what I said. Oops. Okay. Watch, I'll measure it differently this time because I forgot. Did I say 5 or 6? 5 or 6. I'm gonna go with 5, 6. Let's say 6. Let's say 6. Okay. Now, I'm still working on some consistent shoe patterns that fit different foot types, because there are big differences, like his feet versus his feet versus, come here, Bean, I'm gonna pull your pants off, his feet. Like, you can see that there's a big difference in shape. He's got knob feet, he's got slight knob feet, and he's just got little teeny feet, which is appropriate because he's made Hongbin from Vixen. Hongbin has small hands and small feet, so it actually works out. So when I make shoes for this guy, the shoes that I made are kind of boots, and they just sort of plug over the ends of his feet. So see if I can find one to show you. But I've also made sneakers before, or at least shoes with laces. Oh, here we go. Here's one of them. Okay, so for Wanshiki, my Robbie Bay, I made these little boots. And they just plug over the end of his foot, basically. Because he's got a nub foot, so it just will stay on if I go over the nub. Ta-da! So it just stays on like that. And like you can give him a pretty good shake and it's not coming off. However, if I tried this shoe on this boy, it's a really different, like it stays, but there's way more room in his toe and I wouldn't trust it not to just fall off eventually. So that matters. And this guy's feet are weird. There we go. That stays pretty good. Okay, so if I'm making shoes that lace, the different sizes and shapes and foot matter kind of a lot. These don't have laces, so it matters less. Come here, Bean. Put your pants back on. Put your pants on later, sorry. So, maybe later I'll do more details for his feet, but for now, that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna label it first. Silver, oops, I can spell, wow. I speak English fluently. Silver rail. And then, here's the fun part. Okay, so this is kind of confusing if you don't know what you're looking at. So, to make my life easier, I add color to my measurements so I can see the lines. So, I'm just using colored gel pen basically. Here. So whatever lines I made for measurements, I just write over them. So I can see more clearly what the line is. At a glance. And because I own this doll, I will usually just fit things straight off of him. But if I don't have the doll, then I will reference these much more. And that's pretty much all of the ones I need for now. So yes, if you have a doll that I don't have and you are getting clothes through your perks, please let me know which doll you have and send me their measurements like this, and I can do my very darndest to make sure that the clothes I send you are clothes that will fit, and I won't waste your time on clothes that don't fit your doll anyway. A lot of companies that are mass-produced will get around this by making everything super, super tight. Let's see if I can find an example here in my clothes box. Avalanche. Okay. Let's see, where's Shoshi's pants? This is a pretty good example. Okay, so these were the panties that came with my Ravi Bay. And this is cinched to hell and back. Like, it's really, really tight. And I know that the Hakyoni doll has a similar issue. The pants are super, super tight. Let me see if I can find one Shiki's, because compared with the ones that I make, I'll show you. Your pants, sir. They are black pants. Nobody's wearing them. They were too tight to keep on them. No. Okay. Not sure what those are. Alright, anyway, point is. So, one of the things you'll notice is things like mass-produced clothes rarely have any stretch in them. There's not a lot of give in the material. This guy's kind of unique because his white shirt, this one, actually is a stretch, which is nice. But this shirt doesn't need to be stretchy because this is an overshirt. What should have been stretchy is his t-shirt, which if you're looking at it, seems like the tiniest thing. Like, how the hell? It's tight on him. It's really hard to get on him. It would never get on this boy. This boy is too thick. He's too juicy. It would fit Robbie Bay, but it wouldn't fit him. So how do they get around it? Okay, well, they make the waistband super, super tight, so that it would stay on a skinnier doll. But they also kind of limit themselves by not making all of the leg holes elastic. How do I do it? I make the waistband elastic, but not that much. I'd much rather have pants that fit smoothly than tightly. I don't think it looks nice when the doll's waist has an indentation on it because of how tight their pants are. So I don't do it that way. I made these pants for Bean, and they do stay on it's covered in thread bits. They do stay on the Robbie Bay. But I'd rather have Robbie Bay have his own pants that fit him, so I made him different pants. Pretty sure these should fit this guy, though. Or maybe not. He's kind of chub. It should fit him. Maybe not. Yeah, okay, so he's pretty bootylicious. So, now we know. This t-shirt fits him, but it seems risky to me. So, I don't, like, it constantly seems on the verge of ripping the seams, because you have to really shove him into it. So yeah, when I make clothes, I try to fit them more nicely to the doll themselves, like those black pants that wouldn't fit over his bum. Let's put them on one cheeky so you can see. Come on, my boy. The only reason this isn't instantaneous is because I have to pull on his weird little foot sometimes. He's very cute. I like him a lot, but his feet are weird. There we go. Ta-da! Pants that fit. They fit in the front, they fit in the back. And they aren't going to leave an indent in his body from the super tight waist elastic. Yay! Yeah. So yeah, that's how to measure your doll. And if you have a doll that I don't have, I will probably request measurements from you. And you can do this and just take a picture of it and send it to me. It would also help if you sent me a front and then a profile and then a back shot of the doll so I can see, okay, he's got a pretty small back end. Okay, he's got a very flat butt. I know the Hakioni doll has basically no rear end whatsoever, so pants have a tendency to just slide right off of him if they're not super tight. So, yeah, that's how we measure. Bye.